Hi, my name is Casey Donnelly, and I'm the Communications and Safe Sport Coordinator for Bulls Canada. I invite you to join me as I get to know Canada's national squad members through a virtual chat. In this next interview with a national team member, I get the chance to chat with Ryan Vester, a member of the senior squad.
Ryan Vester. I've been on the national team since 2002. I mostly play the singles, skip the pairs, but I've skipped the fours before as well.
Perfect. And how did you first get into Bulls?
My family played, so my uncle and grandfather on my mom's side, they played, and then I have two older brothers, Chris and Mike. They both played for Canada before. They started, and then me and my dad started 2 years after them when I was 10 years old.
Cool, that's awesome. And why do you love the sport?
It's a great social game as well. I've been lucky enough to travel the world and meet a lot of great people. So the best thing is just the people and the high competition, which I love.
Fair enough. Where is the coolest place you've gotten to travel?
I love Scotland and probably Hong Kong. They'd be my two favorite places to play.
Cool, that'd be amazing. What's your favorite Bulls memory?
Probably win the Canadian Fours with my two brothers, my dad, in Regina in 2006.
Nice. Do you miss anything about Canada?
It's just family and friends mostly, and all the good sport at the right time. I'll show you all the good sports on in the morning when I'm at work, so I have to record it and try not to find the scores. But yeah, just mostly family and friends.
Fair enough. And how often in non-COVID times would you normally come home to visit?
But it depends, probably once every 2 years. I was lucky I was home for Christmas just before COVID hit, so
Oh yeah.
I was glad I got to be back before, because we never know when we'll be allowed to travel again, but hopefully soon.
Yeah, for sure. What's the biggest difference between Bulls in Canada and Bulls in Australia, would you say?
Probably just it's more professional in Australia. A lot of big clubs, mainly because of the slot machines in the clubs. Plus, you can play all year round, and the greens are the best in the world. And that's probably the biggest thing, the greens, and a bit more professional.
Okay.
And a bit more money in it as well. So.
Gotcha. And has your game improved, do you think, since you've been living in Australia?
Yeah, 100%. Playing against the best players in the world on a weekly basis really helps out. In the greens, you have to really hone in on your draw game, which that's the name of the game, which has helped a lot. And learning from the best players as well. I've been lucky enough to be at clubs with some of the best players that's ever played, and learned a lot off them.
Right, makes sense. And what do you do for work?
So I run the Bulls at Broad Beach Bulls Club. We're one of the biggest Bulls clubs in Australia and the world. So we held the Commonwealth Games, 5 World Under-25 Championships, Asia Pacifics, and we're going to have the World Championships in 2023. So apart from running all the big events, I run about 5 tournaments during the year and look after all our members. We have about 93 players play for the club every Saturday. So I have to pick the teams and make sure all that is organized.
Sounds interesting. Is that difficult, or do you find that interesting?
No, it's interesting. Obviously, bowlers are a bit different people, so some a bit harder to deal, especially with selections. But no, it's a really cool job, and it lets me go and play a lot of bowls as well.
Fair enough. How were you involved with organizing the 2018 Commonwealth Games at Broad Beach, and was it difficult playing and helping to organize the event?
When the event was on, I didn't have to organize anything.
Okay.
Just before, just making sure all the club was right, the greens were right. So yeah, 2-3 weeks out before, I kind of stopped doing anything like that and could just focus on my bowls. But it was really good. The club did about $2.5 million worth of renovations. So just making sure it was already a world-class facility, but just to make sure it was perfect for the games, which it was, and just for the future events like the Australian Open and the next World Championships.
Okay, that's really cool. What are your goals for your Bulls development?
Well, my biggest goal is to win the World Singles. So hopefully 2023 everything goes on and I'll be on the greens I play on every day. But yeah, just keep playing for Canada, keep playing for the club here, and enjoying myself, which is the main thing, and still try to win some more gold medals.
Fair enough. That's awesome. How has the national team program changed since you first got involved?
I've been involved almost 20 years, so I think now it's a lot more professional, which is really good. A lot of the countries have realized that, so you have to be a bit more professional. Selection's always probably the hardest thing, just because Canada's so big and we don't play against each other all the time. But I think the squad right now, they're doing a pretty good job with the right selections, and we're getting a lot of results, especially the last Commonwealth Games. I think we were in 5 medal games out of the 8. So yeah, I think Terry Scott's been really good. I think it's probably good to have someone not in Canada, no politics or anything, and he just sees the players and can help everyone out with that, which has been a huge plus for the program.
Mm-hmm, for sure. When you say more professional, what do you mean by that?
We do everything right. We have to put reports in every month. We talk a bit more. Where before you went to a camp and then you kind of just showed up at the international competition, but now a lot more prepared for the international events, I would say.
Okay, cool. What advice do you have for any up and comers?
Just practice and try to learn as much as you can from the more experienced players. I wish I would have known now what I know now 20 years ago. But yeah, just learning and being a bit more smarter in the game.
Awesome. And if you could start your bowls career over again, would you change anything?
No, I wouldn't change much. I've enjoyed everything I've done, been able to accomplish, the highs and the lows. So I wouldn't change too much because, no regrets.
Yeah, fair enough. And that's all my questions. Thank you very much.